Um, I just overall with Kurt's career and everything like that, and what I know I asked you this too, just his legacy overall in the business. It's like he's he's such an unprecedented talent that's like, you know, from what he did from a background standpoint and everything like that with the Olympics, and then going into it, and then just taking so naturally to pro wrestling. Um, he's got to be like in consideration as one of the greatest to ever do it. Where do you kind of see him overall?
He's one of a kind. He's one of a kind, man. It's not easy to make that transition. Brock also did a great job transferring. Some of the guys, though, if you think of like Dan Severn, great wrestler. But then when it comes to pro wrestling and the colorful character that's marketable, that the promoters want to book and fans want to buy tickets to see and stuff, then it's not as natural for someone like Dan. A lot of MMA fighters in general have that same issue.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are wrestling fans, and those are the ones that are able to cross over because they probably imitated wrestling when they were thinking about working their way up with the amateur ranks anyway. So that goes a long way. Otherwise, a lot of what we do in wrestling is so opposite what you would do in a real shoot situation. It's because one is this. Let me explain it to you like this. I remember telling you were punching the heavy bag and you were wanting to get your punches quicker. And I said, you got to relax your arms. They'll go quicker. You did. It worked, right?
It worked. It worked, and it's. I'm doing a lot better at it too. So
Right. So let's say me and you are gonna fight. Let's say it's a wrestling tournament, it's a street fight, it's a karate championship match in a tournament, whatever. But we both want to win this. Everything's on the line, right?
mm-hmm.
As soon as it starts, ideally, I would like to hit you so quick and so hidden that you don't see it, nobody sees it, and it incapacitates you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're done. And then I won, and you're done. With wrestling, that's the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing. If nobody saw it, it didn't fucking happen. What the fuck was that? So now I want to hit you in such a way that everybody in the whole building sees it. You know what I mean? I want, so there's a lot of drama and showcasing put into it, into your very own agenda with how you move your body, how you punch, how you run, how you turn your head, every little thing. So Kurt and Brock, but Kurt, was very gifted in the fact that he was able to just cross right over and then be in a top spot and already be like so valuable as a wrestler in the professional industry and be able to back it up. Wrestling other top name guys, veterans, whatever, holding his own based on his reputation, which gave him credibility, and then the fact that he's so fucking good. It works. It works.
It is wild too because you think about that. Yeah, a goal as an amateur wrestler and MMA fighter is boom. I want to end this as quick as possible. Get the paycheck, get out of there, and like. So Kurt, like, he's got that regimented aspect of amateur wrestling and what you're supposed to do and everything like that, and being trained into that environment. For him to take to that and kind of readapt himself into the world of wrestling, where you make it dramatic and show it to the crowd and presentation to it all, it's pretty remarkable that he did it so quickly and then became one of the best at it. So.
I feel like you have to be a fan in order to adapt to it that much. Like you gotta. Maybe he did some promos in the mirror, look in the mirror. Maybe it was a little more than that with his brothers or something. I don't know. I can't remember what the bio said about that, but usually that's the case. It sure does help a lot when you're imitating and mimicking the wrestlers as you're growing up.
And you know what's pretty neat is I help produce with the podcast, their podcast, and whenever he's talking about wrestling, he just knows it very well, and so like there is that aspect of like that passion that he has for it. It's like
Yeah.
pretty cool to see him and be able to do that and everything. So
Yeah.
oh, that's a fun one, Rob. A lot of fun. I